if you're one of those people that doesn't really like conversation, or say for instance you'd rather people didn't talk to you about your analog camera, then probably this camera is for you. It's basically a really digital looking analog camera. It reminds me of when the consumer DSLRs like the Canon EOS first came into the scene. Well, that's no surprise actually, because when that happened, basically it was film cameras gaining a digital back at the time. This one is a Minolta Dynax 303si. Not sure if it's pronounced Dynax or Dynax, but whatever the case may be, it is one of those cameras, those analog cameras at the precipice of digital, where everything was electronic and automatic. You couldn't do anything about the aperture, you couldn't do anything about the shutter speed, and you can't even lie to the camera about the ISO because it detects it automatically. It's an interchangeable lens camera, so I can assume that you can swap out for something like a prime with an aperture ring, but I'm not quite sure that's possible on this camera because as far as I can see, there is no aperture priority mode. Anyhow, I took this camera for a spin in the park just to see how it handles and what kind of pictures you can take with it. And it's autumn right now, so the colors are absolutely delicious, but more often than not, the light isn't. It was really grey and it wasn't very good conditions, to be fair. And also the kit lens is quite rubbish. It's 35mm to 80mm zoom, maximum aperture of f4 at 35mm, moving up to 5.6 at 80mm. So not the best lens in the world, and I can imagine the quality of the optics might not be that great either, so I wasn't really expecting much from this camera. Any camera in its right mind would always choose f4 given the conditions and the fact that I put a 200 speed film in it. But somehow I felt the camera wasn't always at f4 because, the shutter speed didn't feel like 1/250th of a second. It felt more like 1/60 or something like 1/30. Could have just been the mirror, because this Minolta is so lightweight that you could feel the mirror vibrating when you take the picture. So anyway, being the first time I'd ever used this camera, I just couldn't wait to see the pictures, so I went ahead and paid for the 1-hour service at the lab to have it developed as quickly as possible just so I could see the pictures. Astonishingly enough, guys, the pictures weren't so bad actually. They were not so bad. I don't know why I was expecting horrible pictures. I mean, it's a Minolta camera. Okay, so the light was bad, the lens wasn't so great, it was my first time using the camera, the film, 200 speed, not the best for these conditions, but even then, the pictures didn't come out too badly. I'm going to be posting some of the pictures I took on this trial shootout on my Instagram, so if you're interested, I'm at Torrent, check that out. And yeah, have a nice day. Take care of yourself. Bye.